This is, I think you just named like one of the central challenges for this campaign, particularly in like a very short soundbite or a campaign ad. So what we, I think most of us agree that there's an ideal world where the US has a very rational, competent government that is not trying to incite Cold War or worse with China. And to Rose's point earlier, that we're able to collaborate on things like the next pandemic, like climate change, that we're not resorting to just like saying China's the worst and like I'm going to try and show who's tougher on China. Like that's not productive. You know, like, can we have real issues with the Chinese government? Yes. Like, do we still have to try and maintain like the right kind of relationship to accomplish our own goals? That's the way I think I operate. I imagine most people here on this call operate this way. It's like, look, you have your own goals. You got to get them done. Like, and you know, like China's obviously not like going anywhere. So like we have to figure out where you can agree and work with them and where you have to stand tough. Now
Yes.
that's the vision, but that vision is very hard to deliver again in a campaign ad when Donald Trump is spending millions of dollars saying you're soft on China. And then what's like the only response you can do if you're Joe is like, no, I'm not. You're soft on China. You know, I mean, which is unfortunate. And then like all of us are like, well, that's like not very helpful, because then it just seems like whoever's tougher on China is like supposed to be like, you know, our leader. So it's a really difficult dynamic that we have to help them manage and moderate. And the thing that I'm excited about is that they are reaching out to me to like be like, hey, you want to respond to this? Like that, you know, they clearly do not want to incite xenophobia against you know, Asian Americans, and so we have to help them. But this is a real challenge, and I agree with you that Chinese Americans are going to have different perceptions, because some Chinese Americans are angry at the Chinese government right now. Some Chinese Americans are angry at the US government right now. It's like, you know, it's like you'd have like a different perspective, and I would respect it. It's just we have to try and like help the Biden campaign come up with like the right narrative, the right balance in the context of a life or death campaign from their perspective. So it's a tall order, but they're looking for help, in my opinion. Like they need our help. And if we can make it worth their while, having been a candidate, you just do whatever you think is going to help you win. And so if we can show that having a nuanced narrative on China and Asian Americans is a better path to victory, then that's where they'll go. But in order for them to go that direction, we're actually going to have to show them that this is a winning path. and you know, and to do that, we're going to have to invest in a way that may be new for us. It's very sad, and we know this is a generational disaster for our community. You know, it is, and like the people on this call have a chance to make it better. Like we're not going to be able to solve it all, because the fact is, like, you know, I mean, the kid in Ohio who's getting bullied right now, I mean, like, you know, they're like like these things are happening. But we have to do everything we can, and I think we can make a huge difference, because I'll give you an example in the All Americans campaign, the fact the NBA wants to work with us, the fact that we got all these people know it's the right thing. People know that being racist and xenophobic towards Asian Americans is completely flat out like wrong and inhuman. And like, and it's us that have to help them channel that awareness towards action. But we're going to have to lead them there, because even if someone agrees with us, they're not going to take up our cause for us. You know what I mean? Like we have to take up the cause, ask them for their help. Like if we try and lead Joe in the right direction, I believe that they'll come our way.